Alright, what's up everybody? This is Zacharias. We're back again with more of Avadon, the Black Fortress. So without further ado, let's just proceed. We are still in Castle Vabo. There is an enormous Undercroft under Castle Vabo, running the entire length of the fortress. It is held up by many pillars, both natural and man-made. The main entrances to the fortress are at the east and west ends of the gallery. These entryways have huge steel gates and multiple guardhouses. And of course, they can be collapsed in the event of a siege. Of course, most merchants and other common folk aren't allowed into the main floor of the castle. Caravans making deliveries do so down here. There is a noisy and boisterous bazaar in the center of the Undercroft. So yes, we are in Castle Babo. We got through with the upper part, and we are exploring this lower section. There are several merchants here negotiating with great enthusiasm. None of them have the time or interest to talk to you. They point out the merchant at the west end of the bazaar. Talk to Varel. He will have what you need. One area of Castle Vebo's Eternal Bazaar has been claimed by a young trader. He is a Kellum with sharp eyes, rough clothes, and a willingness to drop everything the moment someone from Avadon appears. Wait! Come over here, he says, waving you closer. I am Varel, tinker, trader, the merchant who can get you anything you need before you go out into the wild. It's dangerous out there. You need to be prepared. You deal with many hands? I do. When they come to Calendario, they often pass through this keep. Don't worry, I won't make you ask for a discount. Hands already get one. It is only fair considering how dangerous roads have been for them lately. Dangerous roads? What do you mean? Varel stopped short by this. I'm sorry. I shouldn't pass on rumors. I've only heard that many hands have been... I apologize. I will talk about trading. That is what I do. Varel gives you an obsequious little bow, or however you say that. I'm honored whenever a hand speaks with me before heading out into danger. I only hope that something I sell can provide the edge you need to keep from succumbing to peril. Can you tell me what has been happening in the castle? It sounds like you were trying to discuss politics with me. I don't do that. I have no opinions. None at all. It is difficult enough obtaining the right to trade in the castle without making those in power angry. How did you get the right to trade here? You speak with Gate Master Pros, and with enough consideration, he might consider granting you a very temporary license. When he says consideration, you note that he lightly taps his cash box with his foot. It is difficult at times, but it is the Kellum way. And you have no comments about what Duke Griffin has been doing? I know nothing about it. I've tried very hard to know nothing about it. Alright, let's trade. Of course, I am buying and selling at the moment. I have something I want to sell. What do you have for sale? Varel shows you the supplies piled in heaps in his little area of the bazaar. It's a mixed bunch of stuff, but some of it, as promised, useful. Okay, well, Cantor's bow. Nothing that we need except for the lockpicks. I'm always down to get lockpicks. There is an aging, obese bureaucrat of the pack sitting at this table. He shuffles papers around and frequently drinks from the goblet of wine on his desk. When he turns and sees you, his attitude of arrogant confidence instantly fades. He rises to his feet, sweat beading out on his forehead. Ah, the hand. I did not hear you enter. I am Gatemaster Prose. His clothes are stylish and clearly very expensive. Being the Gatemaster for a castle like this one is a lucrative post. What exactly do you do? I'm the Gatemaster here. Every merchant who wishes to travel through Castle Vebo requires my permission. Then they must pay the toll, and I collect it. Duke Griffin places great trust in me. I do my best to justify it. When do you deny a merchant permission to pass through? What? Why, that hardly ever happens, and only when I suspect the merchant of being dishonest or disloyal to the pact. You suspect that bribes also work their way in there somewhere. Merchants must pay to pass through here? Of course, the ability to charge a toll for safe passage through our lands is one of the oldest and most valued privileges of the Kalendario lords. Isn't Castle Vebo on a free road? Ah, he coughs. Yes, well, the free road actually ends just before our castle and resumes on the other side. Special dispensation from Hanvar's council, you see. Gatemaster Prose continues to stand at attention and answer your every question. He constantly casts longing glances at his chair. He wishes for nothing more than to recline comfortably in the absence of anyone from Avadon. You seem to be doing very well for yourself. He looks down at his rich clothes and gold jewelry. I work very hard for my duke. He gives me compensation in return. His hands tremble slightly. I'm sure you earned every coin. Thank you. I am very fortunate. However, I have much work to do. Hard work. Please excuse me. He plops back down into his chair and makes a big act of shuffling through his papers. Ooh, stone wall beyond. There are two principles the pact relies upon to guide it in its laws and actions. The second of these is the stone wall beyond. This means that all members of the pact, when dealing with outsiders, should be cold, emotionless, and unbreakable, like a stone wall. When dealing with the barbarians and creatures that inhabit the far lands, a true member of the Midlands Pact acts only for the good of the pact, untouched by sentimentality. When in the presence of a human form, say the Tawan Empire, it is easy to be tempted by sentimentality, pity, undue emotional attachment. The stone wall beyond ever reminds the pact that these outsiders are, at the heart of it, the enemy. They have raided the pact before, they will again. Empathy has its place in many parts of life, but when dealing with an outsider, be like stone. Okay, so this was just another way down here. Busy apprentice. The Undercroft of Castle Vebo contains an enormous smithy, capable of tending to the needs of both a small army and countless passing merchants' caravans. The head blacksmith is not happy to see you. That isn't an unusual reaction to the presence of a hand of Avadon. However, seeing you seems to make him genuinely angry. He tosses a massive hammer from one hand to another and glowers at you. Ironsmith Bevis, he grumbles. Hands of Avadon are always welcome here. You can buy the very best of my equipment. Always happy to help. Tell me about your forge. It supplies blades and armor to all the soldiers of Castle Vebo. And, thanks to you, we're sure to need plenty of blades soon. Do you have some sort of problem with me? Bevis realizes that he might be close to crossing a line. No problem. What do you need? I want to trade with you. Of course, I have weapons and armor. Fine workmanship, and therefore unmatched in all of Linnaeus. I don't get to sell to many hands. It's an honor, no matter what harm you're trying to do here. The honor is mine. I'd like to see what you have. Smith Bevis softens slightly at this diplomatic response. Then come and look. Let me see the weapons you have for sale. Smith Bevis, true to his word, sells a variety of high-quality weapons. He even does a good job of concealing his anger while he shows them to you. Ooh, that might actually be good. It's definitely better than the Emerald Saber we have right now. We already have a Shadow Walker with the Steel Razor Disc. Let me see the armor you have for sale. Oh man, we just don't have enough money. I don't need anything else. Then I'll get back to my work. If we are going to need more good blades, it's up to me to make them. He turns back to his forge. Why do you think that? Because our Duke is trying to give away the Beraza woods to the Hochlandans. That's right, I said it. I'm not shy about it. That's what he's doing, and you are here to help him. What do you have against the Hochlandans? My family still remembers the loved ones we lost in the Black Age. It was a century ago, but know this, Hand. Some of us have long memories. What do you think that the Duke should do? Use the blades I make and take those woods back. They are ours. We shouldn't be expected to pretend otherwise. The apprentices used to these rants quietly find other rooms to work in. You see that there is a Hochlandan standing before you. Smith Bevis says, sorry. He doesn't sound quite sincere. Sometimes the loyal Callum needs to speak his mind. Let me make it up to you. We can always trade. Okay. Well, that was quite the interaction. The side chamber is full of the reek of animals and fresh meat. You detect wolves and something else. It takes a moment to place it. And you see one. It's a basilisk. The beasts of Castle Vebo are raised and trained here. They are used for the hunts of the nobles, not to defend the castle itself. The presence of basilisks is quite unusual. You would not have thought that such magical and dangerous creatures could be domesticated. Surely the head trainer will have something interesting to say on the topic. Okay, well, at least they're not attacking. Duke Griffin must take his hunting very seriously. You have never seen a trained wolf this large and fierce. Of course, most people aren't crazy enough to try to train wolves like this at all. When you get close, it lets out a long, low, chilling growl. You decide to keep a safe distance. Okay. Six lockpick. No, forget that. Again, you don't want to try to burn out your lockpick so easily. In all of your travels, you have never heard of anyone determined and foolhardy enough to try to train Basilisk. And yet, three of the creatures lurk in the back of this cell. They watch you hungrily with their beady eyes. Their lizard brains wonder, in their simple way, if it is worth the risk to freeze you with the glance and slowly eat you alive. Happily, they decide not to. When the master trainer of the Vebo kennel sees you, she is eager to talk to you. She is a short, stocky woman who clearly spends a lot of time out in the sun. Her work has left her hands and arms covered with as many scars and claw marks as you would expect. Welcome, Hand of Avadon. I am Tender Melisande. Melisande. And I am honored to welcome you to my kennel. We have been doing much hard work here, and the advances in training techniques excuse me. You look to the side and see that one of Melisandre's assistants has been paralyzed by a basilisk. She pulls out a whip, runs over, saves his life, and returns to you. Excuse me. Anyway, I really wanted to talk to you. You are the head trainer here? She gives you a friendly smile. I am. It is a great honor to tend to the kennel of a Duke of Calamdariel. All of our royalty take pleasure in their animals, especially when hunting. But only our Duke has basilisk in his care. Don't think he never boasts about it. How long have you worked in this kennel? For most of my 30 years. I first worked in the kennel when I was 10, bringing food and cleaning the leavings. I had a knack with calming the animals. The old tender noticed it, and he trained me. It is very, very rare for a mere peasant to rise so far. These animals are used for hunting. Mainly, they hunt the wild game of the Beraza woods, some of which can be very dangerous. The animals are also for show and companionship, and for other things. What other things? My charges have been called upon to track down criminals. It is very rare, but it happens. It turns out that my basilisk are excellent trackers, and no brigand has ever escaped their gaze. Trainer Melisandre happily speaks with you, though she never looks away from the work of her assistants. She is ever ready to rush somewhere to deliver reassuring words or the lash of her whip, whatever is needed. It is hard work, she pants. The Dukes of Calamdariel always insist on a kennel of the highest quality. What do you train there? I train dogs and werewolves, all creatures of spotless pedigree and skill. However, I'm sure you have noticed my basilisk. That is what gets everyone's attention. I'm the only trainer in Linnaeus that has tamed these beasts. Why bother to train basilisk? They are amazing creatures, raw muscle containing powerful magic. Why, a dog can fetch felled game, but as a basilisk gaze can freeze an elk solid at 50 paces. Also, to the Kellam, there is value in doing something nobody has ever done. The more useless and dangerous, the better. Why are they so hard to train? Well, they are lizards, mindless meat eaters. Also, the power of their gaze makes them absolutely lethal. And yet, they respond to my commands. Sadly, I am the only one they obey, but I hope I can change that. What happens if nobody else can learn to train them? She grins wickedly. Then, when I die, Duke Griffin will have a lot of deadly, unmanageable pests in his Undercroft. Why were you so eager to meet me? Heh, it was pure self-interest. I hear a lot of things. For example, I have learned that you might be traveling into the woods. Also, you are a hand of Avadon, so I know that your aid might be for sale. If so, I would trade some of my resources for some of your aid. What do you need? I need to control the local basilisk population. It has increased much lately, and I am afraid I am to blame. There are a number of basilisks loose in the Beraza woods near Castle Vebo. Kill 5 of them, and I will pay you a bounty. Why are you to blame? I pay generous bounties to anyone who can bring live basilisks to me. Not all of them can be trained, but a few can. The rest are destroyed. Sadly, not all the hunters can control the basilisks. They end up being paralyzed or devoured, and the basilisks get loose in the woods near the castle. Unfortunate. Why haven't the soldiers already done this? Because the idea of being frozen by a basilisk gaze and then slowly eaten alive, frozen in place, unable to move, and feeling every moment of it, causes them some concern. Tender Melisandre is a skilled and ambitious animal trainer in Castle Vebo. She told you how several escaped basilisks are menacing the road west of the castle. If you can kill 5 of the creatures, she will give you a bounty. Okay, so that's another way down there then. Okay, that's still Varel. Okay, so we have History Skulls, Blue Ore, Shagaz's Hunt, The Bounty of Basilisk, Vebo Tunnel. Okay, so have some quests to do, but that's alright. You step out of Castle Vebo into the crisp air of the Beraza woods. Few travelers dare to travel through this dark and dangerous forest, which is one of the reasons you have been sent here. It must be tamed. A rough and uneven road stretches to the west. If you travel to the west, you will reach several farmhouses, and then the forest itself. It's time to follow the road and meet up with Monitor Shagaz. Okay, well, let's explore a little bit more. I like how the game prompts me about, it's time for us to secure it, and here I am just still exploring every patch of land in the area first. Okay. I just like being consistent in a game like this, so that's why I do that. Go to the Beraza Woods. You have reached the eastern edge of the Beraza Woods. To the east, Castle Vebo looms above you. To the west, uncontrolled wilderness. Uncontrolled, but not untraveled. A road cuts through the woods to the west. It is an uneven thing, mainly marked by wagon ruts. Sometimes it's hard to tell that there is a road there at all. Still, it is the most traveled route through the forest. There is a small settlement here. There are farms, a trading post to the north, and what looks like an outpost of hunters to the south. People who make their living off the woods and who aren't scared of the dangerous creatures and people that lurk within. Shima looks at the humble collection of buildings at the edge of the forest. It is a relief to leave Calendario and enter Hochlandenland land. I was getting tired of the angry stares. You say that this is Hochlandenland land? Of course. We took this land during the Black Age. It was a time of war, and seizing the territory was our right. It was a blood debt we were owed for all the people slaughtered by the Kellam. Nathalie bites her lip. On the brink of such a dangerous journey, she wisely decides not to start an argument. What do you think should happen to the woods? He walks in silence for a while, thinking about it. I'm not going to say. I've been exposed to politics too much. I lost my family and my homeland to politics. I came to Avadon to avoid ever thinking about such things again. He walks on in silence. Hall of the Beraza Hunters. One of the hunters in this hall is an aging woman in rough, traveling clothes. Her salt and pepper hair stretches down to her waist, and the bow slung over her shoulder looks like it has been used for many years. She is training the young hunters in this chamber, advising them as they fling missiles at the targets to practice their blade techniques. Her voice is soft and quiet, but they listen attentively to her every word. When she sees you, she turns away from her charges to greet you. Welcome, warrior. I am trainer Leala. Have you come to me for a reason? Many hunters come to me to be trained, or retrained. You train the hunters here? She nods. I do. They come here experienced warriors, but they don't know the ways of the Beraza, the thick undergrowth, the pitfalls, the brigands and warped creatures. I prepare them so that they don't end up in the graveyard out back. The woods are dangerous? Intensely so. It would be different if soldiers could go into them. A strong force of warriors from Calendario, or Hochlanda, or both. But neither nation allows soldiers of the other to enter, so a wild place it remains. Have you hunted out there yourself? She smiles sadly. Of course, I would never send someone into a peril I have not faced myself. Many times. Of course, those years are past me now. Anything out there I should watch out for? I'm the wrong one to ask. I hear so many tales and rumors about the dark woods I have no idea which ones are correct. I have even been told that a drake wanders the dark paths. It has the ability to control the minds of those it sees, or so they say. Perhaps true, probably not. Trainer Leala continues to supervise and admonish her students. Sometimes she turns to you. You can join them whenever you want. If you need training or retraining, please let me know. Can you train me? She inspects you with a practice eye. No, your skill is already greater than mine. I can't increase your power, though with time I could help you to refocus the strength you already have. You train the hunters here? She nods. Oh, oh. I already read that. What is retraining? Sometimes, as you gain an experience, you may find that you have been trained in ways that no longer work for you. I can help you to refocus that skill in different ways. Leala can enable you to respend all of your skill points, putting them in different skills and abilities. You won't lose any levels or experience. Be warned, if you take her offer, you will need to completely retrain that character. I don't need that. You are content with the path you have traveled? I am pleased. I don't need any training. She smiles. I am pleased to hear it. I will return to my charges who need every bit of help I can provide. She returns to directing her students. Yeah, I pretty much know what paths I want, but if you want to experiment with different paths, you are more than welcome to do that. And she is the one you talk to for that. This is a lovely office decorated in the luxurious Kellum style. The old man sitting at the table is a gnarled old hunter, wearing armor of skins and carving a bit of antler on the antique desk. He seems a bit out of place. When he enters, he looks up at you and squints. You're a hunter, eh? Come by to pay your respects? I'm Huntsman Gable. What are you doing here? And then he notices Shima. What? What is the stinking Hulk London doing here? You'll be moving on if you want to stay safe. You have a problem with my companion? Gable looks at Shima with loathing. Hochlandans want to steal our forest from us. They kill us when we try to hunt for what is ours. They are the enemy. Shima stares back at him silently, unsurprised by this outburst. If you want anything from me, you will get him out of here. We are hands of Avadon, and you will find your manners. This brings Gable up short. You... Avadon? He looks at Shima again. His loathing is no less, but he nods. I know better than to anger your kind. You want to brave the woods? You're welcome to it. There is even a bounty available if you have a mind to work for it. Tell me about this hall. He looks at his desk with a wry smile. Built by the castle about 50 years ago, I think. Gives the hunters a place to stay. And anything made by the castle is going to have their style. Their style? He looks at the dusty and smudged painting on the wall. They only know one way in the castle. Frilly, fancy. Not all the Kellum care for that. Some of us live out in the world. This is a nice office. Yes, an office. That is what they made for us, them up in the castle. Sometimes I wonder if they even know where their venison comes from. What are you carving? He holds up the bit of antler and inspects it. It will be part of a game soon. Just my own little bit of art. Something to decorate this hall. Something that fits. Can I be trained here? Perhaps. Trainer Leala is in the practice hall. She might be able to help you. Huntsman Gable sits at his desk, concentrating on carving his bit of antler. It looks like he's making an elaborate game piece. This must be how he keeps busy between his many journeys out into the woods. You hunt in the forest? He nods solemnly. That is what we do, me and my merry band. Castle keeps us here to keep the road clear. Keep the pests back. Hunt them down if they get too close. And you still hunt? I know I have some gray in my hair, but the day I can't put an arrow in a spider's eye at 50 paces is the day you can just bury me. Where does the road go? Straight through to Hoklanda. Merchants travel up and down it, and envoys from the enemy. He gives Shima a nasty look. And spies. Shima is typically impassive. It has its uses, we keep it clear. What sort of pests are out there? Lately, lots of giant spiders and rats, and the usual brigands. Worse, there are also basilisks. They make me angry. Angry? Why? Because they're deadly, and because they were brought here. The animal trainer in the castle, she pays for people to bring basilisks to her, but the things get loose right on our doorstep. I swear to you, there's something in that castle. Something that drives everyone in there mad. You mentioned something about a bounty? He nods. So I did. We are charged to keep threats a safe distance from the castle. We do well for all that. But there is one nest of pests that is dug in, and we can't be rid of them. It's a ruin house not far from here, full of rats, and I don't know what else. Clear it out, and a healthy bounty is yours. Where is this house? He points to the southwest, south of the main road, down some winding paths. Look for bones. They'll lead you there. So how did this house get infested? Some fool farmers built it. A big clan of them. Found that life in the woods didn't suit them. They left, leaving a nice big lair behind them for whoever chose to move in. The fools. And then rats moved in? At first, then more of them. I took some hunters out there to get them. But when we got close, there's something in there. Something unnatural. You can feel it the moment you get close. So that's why I'm hiring mercenaries for the job. It's not the sort of thing we're trained to hunt. Huntsman Gable lives at the east edge of the Beraza woods. He told you that there is a ruin house to the southwest. It's infested with rats and, he believes, something worse. He asked you to go there and clean the place out. Okay. The obelisk says, Tombs of the Woods Runners, in memory of those who gave all to keep the woods under control. Okay. So we have a trader right there. We have merchants right there. This middle-aged merchant is surprisingly elegantly dressed for these rustic surroundings. His hair is immaculate, and you think that he is wearing a scent. Subtly and carefully applied, of course. And yet, he greets you in a friendly, borderline servile way. Welcome. You are Xander, yes? I learned of your arrival. A trickle of palace gossip does reach me out here. I am trader Chiron, and I deal with all who brave the dangers of the Beraza woods. Chiron. Why is there a trading post here? Because, as strange as it may seem, there are many who brave the dangerous road through the Beraza woods. People who carry out a wide variety of activities, so I do not judge. These people have needs. I meet them. It is simple enough. What sorts of activities take place along the road? He gives you a thin smile. There are smugglers and brigands, so I never deal with their kind. I deal with hunters, who prowl the woods looking for wild game and brigands. And I deal with merchants, who carry on the trade between Hoklanda and Kalimdariel. The road to the west is dangerous? He nods. Oh yes, thugs and monsters, monsters and thugs. Happily, the might of Castle Vebo keeps them from my door. Trader Chiron is an experienced shopkeeper, staying close enough to you to be available, but not close enough to be creepy. When you are present, he pointedly ignores all of his other customers. Can you tell me about the Beraza Woods? Wide, dark, contested, dangerous, but a great opportunity for one with the right connections and a head for business. I would like to trade with you. Of course you would. I have much that will aid one in your line of work, and please do not worry. Hands of Avadon always receive a discount here. What do you need? What do you have for sale? Okay, more lockpicks that I will go ahead and grab. He doesn't really have stuff that we want. I don't need anything else. Then I bid you good day. Must move on. Very busy. Farewell. He rushes off. Five lockpicks. No, thank you. Okay, that one isn't nearly as bad. Ooh, elixir of health. Let's go ahead and take that then. I mean, I guess I could retrain and get this locksmith up a little bit so we can knock down the amount of lockpicks we need, but I feel like that's also kind of a waste too, considering all the other skills. This looks like an old, snug Calendario farmhouse. Several people are inside cooking the midday meal and tending to their tools and weapons. They are a dirty, muscular lot. They wear thick leather jerkins backed with chainmail, and they keep weapons close at hand, probably to defend themselves from the creatures of the woods. They are also angered by your intrusion and unintimidated by your being from Avadon. They tell you clearly and curtly that you aren't welcome here and that you should leave. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and grab this money then. Wait, there's a downstairs here? At first, you think that you have found a particularly narrow and hastily dug root cellar. And as your eyes adjust to the dim light, you see that it is actually a tunnel. The ceiling is held up with crude timbers. It's not the safest excavation you've ever seen. The tunnel stretches out off to the east. Strange, the tunnel ends here, but you think you can hear something nearby. It sounds like metal hitting stone, but very faint. Okay, lockpicking skills aren't high enough to disarm. We'll just ignore it for the time being then. There is a young warrior of Calendario sitting by this fire. A bow of polished yew is close to hand. She sips from a mug of strong tea and watches the path to the west intently. When you approach, she motions for you to sit. You join her in silently sipping tea and watching the path. Finally, she says, I am Venvella. You are a hunter, I can tell. No strangers to the woods. Good to have company. I have a lonely hunt ahead. Can you tell me about these woods? The Beraza Woods? Contested land. Not ours. Not the Hochlandens, argued over for year after year. She looks at Shima, not interested in starting an argument, just stating facts. He nods. Now they're full of pests. Can't hunt them down. That's why commander of the castle put me here. Why don't you hunt the pests down? Because if Kelm soldiers go into the woods, the Hoplonans get angry. Make noise in Hanvar's council. Send assassins to kill them. They send soldiers in, we do the same. This makes it a big, lawless zone. Gotten bad out there. I'm hunting in the Beraza woods. I heard rumors. You are Avadon, yes? Not sorry to hear you're here. Why are you here? My job. Watch for pests dumb enough to get too close to the castle. Shoot them down. Earn a bounty. Easy work until the spiders came. There are basilisks out there too, but they're smart enough to not come too close. What do you think should happen to these woods? If I had my way, split them right down the middle. Of course, if I said that in a pub, I'd be in a fight in a second. Nathalie says, and Nathalie nods. And rightfully so. This is Kelm land. No nation of the pack should be expected to give up an inch of its birthright. Vinvella shrugs. A nice bow. She nods. Thank you. My great-great-great-grandmother made it. What are you hunting? Spiders. Dumb, big, nasty, mindless enough to come close to the castle. I'll get a healthy bounty if I can hunt them down and destroy their nest. Too many of them to do it by myself, though. Of course, if someone were to help me, I have a valuable reward to give them. Found it in the woods. Not something I can use, but you might be able to. What sort of reward? A bracelet. Looks crude, but it's enchanted. I will help you. Vinvella nods, then prepare yourself. Soon we will hunt. I'm ready to begin the hunt. Vinvella rises, picks up her bow, and checks her quiver. Follow. Stay close. Be ready. I know the signs of creatures leave. Can drive them out. Don't abandon me. Don't want to die today. Then she walks off into the woods. You met a hunter named Vinvella on the outskirts of the Beraza woods. She is tasked to hunt down some nasty spiders, but she can't kill them all by herself. She will pay you a bounty if you help her. You take your first step into the Beraza woods. The thick trees almost seem to close in on you. Few hunters and settlers are brave enough to walk deep within this forest. Kelm intruders are often killed by Hoplonans and vice versa. You can hear lots of wildlife. Birdsong is heavy in the air, and squirrels and other small creatures are common up in the branches. However, at ground level, the dirt bears the tracks of many larger predators. You are told that hostile creatures thrive in this neglected forest. The evidence of this is everywhere. Vinvella looks suspiciously at the thicket to the east. She motions for you to stop and sniffs the air. It doesn't look any different from any other bunch of shrubbery, but the huntress takes a long, rusty, brush-clearing blade from her belt and hacks it away. On the other side, you see a small clearing. There are refuse and bones, but no spiders. Vinvella nods silently and moves on. Vinvella stops at another thicket, raising her blade and hacks away at some shrubbery. Once again, she reveals a small clearing. This time, however, the opening in the trees is full of huge spiders. With one smooth motion, Vinvella sheaths her blade, grabs her bow, and knocks an arrow to the string. Freaking corruption. You know, I like how the dialogue said that she gets out her bow, but she's hitting with the sword anyway. But then again, it is right by her, so... Let's do that. Venvella stops. She whispers, "You smell that? The rot? The terror? Those creatures have been feeding. Maybe we..." Then with no delay she hacks away the thick clump of bushes in front of her. On the other side you see what Venvella was smelling. Her instincts were miserably accurate. These spiders have recently dined on the wretch. Okay. Let's do the ice storm again. Venvella looks at the ground. She is clearly getting frustrated. Pest. Only pest. No sign of the... Alright, here, be ready. She whips out her blade and slashes through a huge clump of ivy stretched between two trees. The vines fall away, revealing a large clearing. It's full of spiders. One of them is much larger than the others, and its eyes glow with an unnerving green light. "Ha!" Venvella shouts, delighted. "This is what we were hunting for." Oh boy. I need them all to get closer, though. Let's do this. I like how that one keeps summoning all these random stuff rather than actually attacking. Oh, screw your days. Vanvella retrieves her blade and puts her bow back onto her shoulder. Thank you for your help. You can take whatever you find here. I don't use the tools of the dead, but I know that some are far less picky. She also takes a scrap of leather from her pocket and hands it to you. You inspect the gruesome bit of cured flesh and find that it is a leather armband, inscribed with several lines of tiny runes. I hope that is fair payment. I'll return to my camp now. It's time for a few days of rest, I think. She waves farewell and leaves to the east. Bracelet of Truth, boost to healing. Ooh, that might be good on Janelle. Or he could put it on Nathalie. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Alright, I think I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, come on, really? Really? I was about to freaking... Okay, let's kill these punks then. Stupid punks. Get out of here with that. I was about to call it for the video. Get out of here, you stupid punks. Ain't nobody told you you could attack me. Dude, look at this mess. Dude, this fight is all over already. Because y'all got greedy. Stupid punks. Alright, well, with that in mind, let me train Nathalie real quick. I'll do that and that. Alright, with that in mind, I'm going to call it for this part of the Let's Play, but I will see you all soon with the next.